One might be thinking, why am I standing here looking like Abraham Lincoln? And there's a reason for that, but I'll start from the beginning. We were a couple of friends who were thinking, what if we did a LARP where a couple of Scandinavians and some other Europeans went to some other country and became refugees, immigrants, aliens. And then we realized that that doesn't have to be fiction, because it actually exists in history, in our great-great-great-great-great-grandfather's time, in the history of the founding of the United States. So we want to set a LARP in this time, in the US, in a mining village in Georgia, in the Confederate States during the Civil War. There we'll be having Swedes and Irish working long hours in dark mines and on toxic gas fields. A game that focuses a lot on the conflicts and the clashes between worker and boss, between religions, and of course, since it's a civil war, a game between the clash between the North and the South. Quite to a large degree, a social realistic game, but we want to also spur your creativity. So we set it not only to be historical, but also include some steampunk elements and some changes in history. For instance, that you can play any role, disregarding of gender or color of skin. And we also want a bit of action in this game. So you'll have the Civil War there, you'll have a forceful overtaking of this mining village, and all that comes with it. We're making a game in Sweden that follows in the tradition of games like the monitor ship Celestra in several ways. It's a Nordic style game, but it's aimed towards an international audience, which means it will be played mainly in English as main language. Of course, this is the US, and there are many immigrants here. So if you are Swede, or if you come from Austria, you can of course have your own dialect. So when that cannon is going to explode, you can go, "It's gonna blow, get down." We'll also be working with scripted roles, and we'll be working with a pay-and-play system, which means that we'll provide food and lodging for people who come there, so it'll be easier for you to come from far away and join the game. We'll also be having a really cool, fun place to be. Not only do we have a huge chunk of nice Swedish forest, we have a village with wooden houses, and we have an authentic mine. We can play mining scenes with tools and everything, and they're very, very happy to have us there. So I hope to see you in our village and play with us sometime soon. The date is very easy to remember, 9/11 this year. Fitting, isn't it? You can come talk to me at any time. I'll be around here for all of Knutpunkt. I don't have any flyers right now, but if you go to the bar, I'll be next to it selling these awesome retro clock colas. So, welcome to Clock Papa.
Next up is the index. Give me a sign when I swap, okay?
Well, we have been working a little bit on Larp. It is first for 2000 and... Sorry.
We have been working a little bit on Larp. It's only for 2015, but we wanted to give you a short idea of what we have been working with right now and what it's about. So yeah. It's a bit vague right now. We have a framework, and the framework is this. We have based the Larp on what we call dualistic storytelling, so everything is in pairs. So the location is in two. One room represents everyday life, and the other one represents the subconscious of the characters. The characters are signed up in couples, and each character is played by two players. And then they fight it out over who's the dominant part of the personality. So everything is in twos. We are working heavy with theater techniques. It's a heavy scripted game. It will be made in chapters. it will be with a classic scene presenter coming and explaining the scene's themes. It is working a lot with the light, sound, hopefully also some water if we can get it. So it is a game that tries to work with the surreal as much as possible, paying homage to people like David Lynch as much as we can, and your doors, true. And which also means we have a little bit different take on how we want to do things.
Because we can't do it without you. I mean, we have some great ideas, but I think that your ideas could be even better. So we need your help, both in thinking what could be cool to do. Also, we need people to do practical stuff, like be a runtime game master, or could be if you're a kick-ass scenographer, sound engineer, whatever. So we need your help for that. And we think it's awesome to be able to work with you, as many as possible, actually. So, yeah, I guess that was that.
Some quick practical things. As Peter said, we have a framework, and if you want to, you can participate in that framework, or you can, as a normal paying player, pay 150 euros and then just participate in the game. It will be held in Copenhagen 2015. It will cost 150 euros. And it will be played in English to make sure that everybody has the option to participate. I think that's it.
Next up is Jose to present 3 different projects.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna bother you with a few items, 3 of them. This is this is it. I tried to get some people over because, as you see me, I'm still 33% of the LARPing community, as in there's 2 other guys. So that means I can't do it by myself, and it's now even harder because I'm now moved to Helsinki, mainly because of Knutpunkt as well. Long story. The idea is that since a long time that I have not had a free summer, but now that I'm a university student, I've got this all empty space in summer, and it would be awesome if I can convince some of you to come in groups whenever you want during, June to September. And this is like a tourism charm operation, and I have some really kick-ass venues, and that I bet my ass if you just go there once, you will definitely come back. So the idea is to just get over there, I'll drive you around for a week, I'll show you a lot of cool places, feed you as well. Let's not forget that, because we have some really good stuff. I'm not going to go into details of how great we can also slip in some like wineries and stuff into the tour. We don't need to talk about that. We can talk about it later. But yeah, I hope and I need to set up some sort of international cooperation, because there's a lot of support, and like even from government and institutions and venues, but there's no funding or anything. So maybe I'm sure that some of you will know how to get some funding for cooperation or sort of crowdsources. But really, if you can, you will not regret it. It's easier to then to show you the venues and stuff like that in pictures or just plan it. But the idea is that it's open. Come and talk to me if you want to go in for a small vacation with a good purpose, for a good cause. So this is one item. We can talk more about it. The second one is that I decided to combine all my hobbies together and get some degree out of it. So I'm doing a thesis, which is a cyberpunk novel and a gallery installation. I decided to start low, so I aim at Kiasma, which is the National Design Museum in Finland. Start from the bottom and then do that. Well, and the idea behind it is, it's a story that I've sort of laid out before, but I need help to convert it into a more of a serious LARPing game. I'm not sure what that means, but we all have these issues now if you work with technology. I'm doing new media, which is technology and art, or whatever the hell you want to be, and basically whatever you do is viable within this field. But we're all talking a lot about how the machines are becoming more humanized, how we try to get these things to react more humanly, the robots to become more friendly, software to be more intuitive. But there is something that I think it will occur the other way around. We will become mechanized. Cyberpunk. So the thing behind it is that we will become consciously fused with computing, and at some point we just let go. We'll automate tasks like brushing your teeth. Why the hell do you want to be conscious of it? Just press something. Your body does things to you. You can automate boring tasks and just wake up to the stuff you want. But somehow you'll become overtaken and lazy and sort of memory splits going on there. I can then talk more about this, but it makes a really cool gallery installation and the spatial design and a lot of space for ideas. So if anybody's interested in giving me some pointers or cooperate, or if anybody wants to be part of this, I would be very much grateful. This is it, another invitation. And the last one is I keep doing these things, networking my ass off. And in 6 months in Helsinki, I hooked up with the producers of Flow Festival, which is the biggest festival in Finland, and producers of Slush and other big events. And I pitched them a little idea, and they just went, "We want to work for you." No, I'm no one. I want to work with you. They were like, no, we're going to work for you. Whatever you do, we're going to do that. So now I have great venues and a huge infrastructure behind to make a weird concept of a festival, which is Larp for the masses. It's a very small thing. I will start with zombies because it's easy, but it's more in the dystopian scenarios. You can change it every year. And in one big event, you can combine all the counterculture. You can add an excuse to have the people who do comics and vinyls and all the counterculture movements. Back home, it's easy because I know them all, but then combine it with a rock festival and a cinema festival within the theme, as in everything went to shit because it's post-apocalyptic, and we're trying to keep our last remains of culture as humans alive. So it's the struggle of the underlying cultures to keep up with the mainstream. And if anybody likes these sort of things again, and wants to help me produce the LARPing side of this with all the logistics handled, this is my third invitation. Please join me.
Minsk Larp Festival.
Hi everyone, my name is Katia, and I would like to present Minsk Larp Festival that is going to be in Minsk in May on the 10th, 11th, so pretty soon. It's going to be a 2-day Larp Festival where you can play games that were created by Belarusian Larpers during last 18 months. There will be also the games will be run both in English and Russian, so international participants are very welcome. And we will also arrange quite a lot of social activities, parties, and what I would like to mention is that it's usually quite complicated to come to Belarus. But during the ice hockey championship, we have visa-free entrance for everyone. And that's why we decided to use the chance and to organize and to invite everyone to the festival. So you can find more information, including practical information how to get to the country on the webpage. The name is pretty long, but we brought kind of flyers. They are like this, and they have everything I've just mentioned. You can get them after the presentations from me or Sasha, guys from Belarus as well. Or you can find them at their info desk. We will leave them there. And if you have any questions, then just find us after the presentations, and we're ready to answer them. Thank you very much.
Mittelpunkt.
Okay, well, hello everybody. Hello, everybody.
Push the button.
Push the button. Hello, everybody. This is just a short invitation to the German Larp conference Knutpunkt. It will be held this year in November from the 14th to 16th. We are going to rebrand it a little bit, shifting away from the cheap copy of Knutpunkt into something else. We try to focus on, the question how to make Hollywood like Larps, a little bit like Monitor Celestra. This is the aim. And that's what we are hoping for, getting a lot of people to participate, and it's on a fracking castle. We need more information. It's on a fracking castle. There's still there's no website or something else yet, but we will during the next 1.5 days set up a Facebook event and link it somehow to the Knutpunkt stuff. Any questions you can direct at me and Steve, who is not here yet, and for foreigners who hold items there, it will be for free.
Is it a nice castle?
It's a nice castle.
It's a German castle, of course it is not.
Of course. Thank you very much. Any questions afterwards?
Morgenrøde. Morgenrøde i snack.
He's out, man.
God damn it. Thank you.
Hello. We are from the organizing group of Metamorfosis, which is a Danish Larp about the hippie movement in the late 60s, start of the 70s in Denmark. It's about a great grand commune, about 30 people living together, and about experiencing the peak and the fall of the hippie movement, about the freedom and about the will to change the world.
Sure. Is it okay if I do it without the mic? No, not okay. Sure, I'll use the mic. As been said, we've divided the game into an act structure. So it says 3 here. Actually, we have about 5 with a prologue and epilogue as well. So this will be pretty tight acts compared to the long ones, which is quite focused. And they focus on the ideals. We want to show the love of the hippie movement. We want to see an entire community coming together to this shared experiment to sort of realize the socialist paradise and show society what it's all about. But also show in the following acts the frustration and finally the fall and the collapse when the social structures and rules and norms, the great compromises suffocates the hippie movement. So it's the big story of the hippie movement told in a single Danish grand commune. We have some people with freeform and festival, Danish freeform convention background in the group and are trying to bridge some of the gaps between the festival tradition and the Nordic Larp tradition. So characters will be pre-written in a festival tradition, though this is pretty much your Nordic Larp. Yeah.
Language.
Language is, it is primarily in Danish. International participants are welcome, but they will play their own nationality.
It's about Danish culture and Danish history, so that's why we're keeping it very much to the Danish language and that story, because it belongs to a part of our history, and for us it's also a part of that history that made a lot of the social circle that we work in today have some kind of culture that we owe a lot to the hippie movement. So that's also something that we're looking into and experiencing. It will be in August, from the 12th to the 15th, and it will cost about 105 euros. And that's with everything and accommodations and the likes. And you can contact us or some of the other organizers like Søren and Troels that are here today. You can stand at Troels so they can see you. Thank you.
Has there come anyone here to present SandCon yet? Lizzie isn't in the room. No. We'll skip it then. Martin, the summer school.
You have my slide, or
no? Sorry.
Screwed up?
Screwed up. I can try to get the web page.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I'm here to present the Larp Writers Summer School. This year we're making the Larp Writers Summer School for the 3rd time. We just learned that we've secured funding to do it 2 more years. The Larp Writers Summer School is a 5-day intensive summer course in Larp design. And the goal of the school is to take people with no little Larp organizing experience and empower them to create their own Larps. So at the summer school you'll find a magical atmosphere. Imagine if you were ever on a summer camp when you were 15, it was magical, right? And I'll tell you, it's not because you were 15, it's because it was a summer camp. It works still. I promise you, if you come, the atmosphere is just magical. I promise you new friends. I promise you some of the best experts Nordic Larp has to offer, and definitely the most thorough learning program in Larp design there is. It might be the only one as well, but still. We have a custom-made teaching framework for teaching Larp design. And I promise you'll get a lot of new friends from all over the world. This is our webpage. It's larpschool.org. Now it's probably larpschool.se, but whatever, larpschool.org also works. We're looking for participants who have no to medium Larp experience and no to little Larp organizing experience. So some of you might be way overqualified. We're sorry for that. Practically, the summer school takes place on the 8th to 13th of July this year. It takes place in outside Vilnius in Lithuania. It's free of charge, but you have to cover your travel there yourself. And it's open for participants from all over the world in general. The application deadline is April 16th. We usually cannot fit the spot for everyone who applies, so we recommend applying as soon as you can. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me or some of the Belarusians. This is a joint project between Müller in Norway and Education Center Post in Belarus. We hope to see you in Vilnius this summer. Thank you.
Metamorfosis.
Hi, I'm Martin Løken.
And I'm Andrew Sugren.
And since we just had this Larp Writers Summer School up here, this project actually started out from that. When I participated 2 years ago, an amazing summer camp with participants from all over Europe, we just realized that there weren't actually any Lithuanians there, even though it was in Lithuania. And that was a bit strange, you know, all these amazing people, all this amazing stuff happening, but no Lithuanians. How come? And Magnar, which is like magic with money and application forms and stuff like that, he suddenly one day said, you know, I got 20,000 euros. And on the form it says festival in Vilnius. So let's make a festival in Vilnius. And everybody was like, yeah, let's do it. Here you go from now on.
Thank you, Martin. So, hello. It's very nice to be in front of you. It's a cool experience. So, if you go to Vilnius Larp Writing School, so it's just next day starts the Larp Festival. And we're going to have 4 days weekend and 2 days weekend games. And why it's going to be a cool festival? Well, of course, it's going to be the first Vilnius International Nordic Larp Festival, which is going to be cool. but it's going to be very Lithuanian, very Vilnius experience. Like in the 4 days, you're going to experience Vilnius through LARPing methods, but through the eyes and perspective of locals. So you will explore city in the open city games, in workshops, and presentations and everything. And then on Friday and Saturday, you'll have the games. Most of them will be psychological, black box games, and we have cool locations. We have 6 cool locations, and who've been last year September. It's in Kablis. It's a huge palace, and in locations we have a huge speed park. So we are open to competitions for writing scripts, and we have a pretty controllable location.
So we just want everybody who has a good idea to write scripts, go into the webpage, find out more about it, the contest, and send us a lot of different suggestions. And I want you also to come and also be organizers and also players. We need everybody in this festival, basically. Who of you played the computer game Worms? Put a hand in the air. Did us worm killing each other thing? Yeah, we're going to put up a game about that. You know, everybody in sleeping bags and stuff. Going down. So this is going to be awesome. Just go there. Actually, I also found that one good reason to go to Vilnius that week is you'll save a lot of money for it. I mean, like I just checked the flight prices, and they are from all like Helsinki, Stockholm, Copenhagen, Oslo. At average like 700, 800 kroners, like return ticket included, and that's like in a week. How much would you spend on beer? Or am I just from Norway? I know. I mean, you'll say.
Thank you.
In the States, we've been running these small house cons with about 10 to 15 people where you go away for the weekend and play some games. And we thought, hey, that was a lot of fun. Why don't we do it slightly bigger, slightly more fun, and with a better mix of people. So the weekend of that weekend, we're running a house con for about 50 people at a beach house in New Jersey. I'm co-organizing this along with Story Games, Scion, James Stewart, and indie game designer Jason Morningstar. It's going to be a LARP and Freeform convention. We're hoping to help launch the Freeform LARP revolution in the US. So it'll be for short games. And there should be a lot of new stuff played there. So we're hoping to have a good mix of games and then getting interesting people into a room and seeing what comes out of it. Thanks.
Toy is about great changes in small lives. It's about growing up, about growing old, about ceasing to love, about finding new love, hostilities buried and conflicts that arise.
It's also about breaking bonds, forging new bonds, giving life, to die, to lose yourself in the dance and rhythm of drums, to find yourself in silence, to be human. And the way we're trying to depict this is through 4 days in the life of a hunter-gatherer society, who are gathered for a festival of the big transformation rituals in life. And it is played in the Norwegian language and the Scandinavian languages. This summer, 1st to 5th of July, koikoilive.org.
Thank you. Stockholm Scenario Festival. Mike. Hello.
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 Hi, my name is Anna, and I'm one of
the organizers for Stockholm Scenario Festival that will be held in November. And it's a festival for short larps, for free form, deep form, and stuff like that. So you come and you play and you drink beer. And we're looking for writers right now, so there will be a date where a deadline where you send in a synopsis. I want to write a game like this, and then we pick the ones that we feel will be best. And then we write them, and then we come to the Scenario Festival and play them, well, a lot of other people. We will also have a golden oldies track for older games. So yeah, and I've already heard that maybe like Frederick is going to write something, and Tobias Lee will probably write something as well. Okay, I think that's it. Thank you very much.
1905.
Hello, my name is Alexei. I'm here for 3 years. I still can bring you guys to Russia and to play Russian LARPs. And this time I started 2 years before LARP, so you have some time to prepare, you know. This LARP is going to be in July 2015, and this will be the LARP about the time, the beginning of 20th century, and a very interesting time not just for Russia but for the whole world, because changing for that time in culture, in politics. And we are doing LARP about first Russian Revolution, the Russian-Japanese War, and all this interesting stuff which changed Russia, which changed Europe and the world in 20th century. So this will be a very good opportunity for English-speaking players. So the LARP will be in Russian mostly, but the opportunity that there will be a lot of playing around this situation in Russia. We will have embassies of Western countries. We will have Great Britain with the great game with Russia in Asia, and Japanese embassy, and playing spies and playing revolutionaries in Switzerland, printing all this stuff and sending to Russia. So a lot of things which can be conveniently played in English. Then I should say 2 words about participants. It will be a big LARP in your terms, very big probably. It will reconstruct social structure. So it will be St. Petersburg, built from scratch with the palaces and factories and people playing different classes and very complex social system inside the LARP, so you can feel how it works. And this will be in Moscow region, not in the city of St. Petersburg, but we will build it in Moscow region. Then I should say that it will be for sure political LARP, because we want to discuss the topics, political topics on a language much more rich than we see now on TV. So the language of that time is much more interesting, and the clash of different political positions is much more interesting than we have now. So it will be a good opportunity to play different political parties or whatever.